We have an update on the rabies alert for people living near UNF and the St. John's Town Center Mall. After our story on the alert aired last night, we started getting calls and emails from people who are concerned about stray cats.
They took issue with one of the safety tips by the Florida Health Department about what to do to prevent contracting rabies. News4Jax reporter Eric Avanier joining us live to explain this controversy. Eric?
Well, Joy, in this rabies alert that was issued by the Florida Department of Health, there is a line in here in which they suggest that people in the alert area contact animal control to have a stray animal removed from the neighborhood. Now, the problem with that is, well, shall I say the controversy with that is stray animals could also mean cat colonies. For instance, there's a cat colony right here. We're in front of the federal courthouse here downtown. There's a cat colony here, and there's also like neighborhood cats in which people take care of. They spend money on these animals to buy them food and things of that nature, and even get their vaccinations. Well, animal advocates say that there was no context added to the health department's suggestion. This was the Florida Department of Health rabies alert issued for folks living near UNF and the St. John's Town Center. The alert talked about a cat that tested positive for rabies. The third bulletin in the advisory is what's sparking controversy among the stray cat carrying community. It says, call your local animal control agency to remove any stray animals from your neighborhood.
Simply stating that all stray cats need to be removed or all community cats need to be removed is just not accurate.
Cat colony advocate Rebecca Nelson says the bulletin should have been more specific to include wording about removing a stray animal that is showing signs of having rabies.
Community cats often have caretakers, so simply saying call to have these cats removed is not accurate, and it puts cats at risk who do have their vaccinations, who do have their ears tipped, and who have been fed and are taken care of regularly.
Nelson fears the current wording of the alert could give people the wrong impression that it's okay to remove and kill stray cats within the alert area as a type of rabies prevention. Animal investigation expert Jim Crosby is warning folks about taking matters into their own hands.
This is not a license to go out and take any action other than just be aware, keep your animals safe and under your control.
The reality here is that animal control is not going to come out to remove a stray dog or cat simply because it's roaming the neighborhood. However, they will come out to remove that animal if it is showing signs of having rabies. According to the CDC, those signs include seizures, difficulty breathing, disorientation, excessive drooling, aggressive behavior, and/or self-mutilation. Now, when it comes to aggressive behavior, animal control will ask the caller if the animal appears to be trying to attack people and other animals. If the animal meets the criteria to be picked up on a suspicion of rabies, it will be euthanized and the animal's head will be removed from the body and sent to a lab. If the animal was truly infected with rabies, this is what the infection in the animal's brain would look like under a microscope. And as I said earlier on, here outside the federal courthouse, there is a huge colony of cats that someone has been caring for. In fact, there's one of those cats right there. But like I said, there's a lot of cats out here. People take care of these animals. Nelson says that she would like to speak with state lawmakers about ways to protect cat colonies from being generalized as stray animals every time a rabies alert goes out. Now, as far as the health department is concerned, we did reach out to them but because of the holiday weekend, no one was able to respond to my calls. Now, coming up at 11, the harsh reality of a rabies infection. Reporting live, Eric Avanier, Channel 4, the local station.